Okay, welcome everybody. I'm Nancy Vandell, Chair of the NCAC Bylaws Subcommittee, and I call this meeting to order at 9:05 on November 14th. Could everybody introduce themselves and that are on the committee and state their any conflicts? So I have no conflicts.
Michael Beachley, I have no conflicts.
Susan Schomburg, no conflicts.
Wyatt Angelo, no conflicts.
Thank you. Then we'd like to welcome Alex Clark, who's our interim chairperson, and thank you.
Hi,
and
everyone.
Then, and Lewis Hampton. And Alex is also our vice chairperson. So thank you, both of you, for joining us. So I'm going to go into the agenda. If I can find it here. Everybody see it?
Yes.
Okay, I actually got it out really early and then didn't do that much, but so it's kind of our normal one. We'll approve the minutes of Michael's minutes, and then I have a brief report, and then we get it into the meat of the meeting with our PP&R and bylaws action items discussion and meeting and action item, and go into the discussion and then summarize at the end. We have public comment at the end, but it is a small group, so please feel free to break in if you have any comments or put something in the chat. And then we have going to 11:30. I don't know if we're going to need that much time today. And then the calendar. Oh, we do have an executive board meeting for November. I think when I wrote this, we weren't sure, but it is next Wednesday, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Yes, at 3:30 via Zoom.
Okay.
And go back to. And then Friday, December 12th is our next bylaws subcommittee meeting, as we talked about last time, because of the holidays and everything else. We're just doing one meeting a month for the rest of this
I
year.
don't seem to have audio right now, so.
Oh, yes, we do.
Right.
We can
Hi,
hear you.
we can hear you. Welcome, Tom. Can you hear us? Can everybody else hear me?
I just heard him.
I did as well.
Thank you.
So can you hear us, Tom? I'm going to text him. Oh, he's coming back, I think. Well, let me text him. Okay. And then we have
Anybody there? Am I
yeah,
there?
Yes.
can you hear it? You're
No,
there.
apparently not.
Yeah, we can hear you. Maybe his first time up there. We can hear you, Tom. I guess you just can't hear us. I'm talking to you through the phone right now. Okay. Anyway, just wanted to let you know we could hear you and we could see you. You just couldn't seem to hear us. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Bye. Okay. Now I don't know if I'm through my earpods anymore. Can you guys hear me?
I
Yes.
can. Yep.
Okay. And I can't hear you. So. Well, anyway, and then we have our membership meeting for the end of the calendar year on December 13th. So the day after our next bylaws subcommittee meeting. And then we resume on our regular schedule, January 2nd. So let me get into
There.
my iPod's back on here.
Speaker definitely is not working.
Says I'm connected. Hello?
Well, it's not recognizing my device. I'm gonna have to reboot. So
Okay, go
pardon
for it.
me. I'll be back.
Goodbye. I'll be back.
Hello? All right, I don't seem to be able to hear anything.
I haven't.
Oh,
I've-
now I can. Now I
yeah.
can. Yay.
Nobody's speaking.
I can
That's
hear
why-
all of you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
yeah.
you. I made a mistake calling and switching my speakers. It's not usually this bad, Lewis and Alex. So let's go ahead and share the minutes. Okay, did people have a chance to read them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, thank you, Michael. Any comments on the minutes? Can everybody see them on the screen if you haven't had a chance to read them? Short and sweet, Michael. It was good.
Well, you're
Yeah.
welcome. I'm getting better at this. I decided that detail wasn't important since we have, recordings and so on and so forth. So just get the
Right.
gist of it.
Yep. And we have policies and procedures to go back to too with the changes showing. So I think we're good. All right. Any comments that people want more time to read?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Okay. Hearing none, the minutes are approved as presented.
Thank
Thank you
you.
again, Michael.
Mhm.
Okay. So our action items list, hopefully Tom can make it in here. Not sure what's happening, but actually I'm gonna stop it on this. This is what's in the file. Let me actually go into Word version of it and make adjustments. Tom is back. Are you back, Tom? Can you hear us?
If you can hear us, Tom, you're muted.
And I was mutilated.
Oh,
Uh,
you're muted.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Welcome. You are here.
Yay, all right.
Yeah.
That's your first time in front of the computer for a while?
Actually spent a couple of days working on that other subcommittee.
Okay.
My first meeting.
Okay. Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay. So Tom, do you want to state if you have any conflicts?
No comment.
Okay. And we just approved the minutes. And we went over the agenda. So action items for the rest of the year. So I want to apologize because I just have not done a lot on this over the last several weeks, actually. I think having a longer period was not helpful between travel and a bunch of other kinds of things. So I promise to do better before our next meeting, well before. I think having that November 28th deadline come and go, it was like, well, what's the point now? But no, it's really no excuse. So But we
well,
still have some things from our last meeting that we need to still review. And then Michael, you mentioned that you have some drafty draft that you just did on voting, so
Drafty draft, yes.
we can go through that.
Mhm.
So, Tom, did you want to say something?
yeah, it is not on fire. We
Yeah.
don't, so
Thank you.
we're okay.
I think that's part of it. We're taking too much of a break here. So, voting procedure, Michael and I had a deadline of for today's meeting, and Michael drafted something this morning that I haven't seen yet. So, we can go through that. The NCAC archives were putting off for a little bit here, and we had. So, flesh out job descriptions. Susan and I actually met a few weeks ago, and Susan drafted something on the outreach subcommittee, and I needed to get back to you, Susan, and
Mhm.
I need to draft a bunch of stuff on the job descriptions. So I would like to defer this to December if that's okay.
Sounds great.
Okay. Thank you for understanding, people. And I don't know why I have that's going to be on the 12th, I think, right? So the recommended qualifications for subcommittees and task force members, that's something that Tom, you had in for the last meeting that we didn't have time to get to, correct? And I'm not sure I found it in the draft.
It's not completely surprising. You don't
Okay.
actually remember doing it. But then again,
Okay.
I don't remember a few things from before.
Yeah, yeah. And
So-
and I don't want to bug you. So I think if we have time to review that today, um, Susan or Wyatt, you could share it too if I just have never seen it. So
Been a
we can
while
talk
since I
about
have
that.
seen it, so I hope
Okay.
Susan read it recently.
And then the OPML procedures, I sent that just before the last meeting, and we're going to review that today. Did you have a chance to put that in the document, Tom? Do you know? We'll find out. If not,
I suspect not.
okay.
I'm
If
right now struggling to make sure that I'm opening up the right document. Last one I have is R B2R5.
that's the one that's in the file is R5.
Okay.
So so I don't think it had the change from, but we'll find out. If not, I put it in the meeting folder from the last meeting. We can dig it out or I can just go back and get it. It's pretty short. And then so procedures 12 and 15 were done except one paragraph as noted to be discussed on November 14th. Expansion of quorum. We actually did that one, and revisiting decisions, we did that one. Leave of absence, maybe that's the one that I drafted. That's what it
That is
is.
the one that's the one you drafted. And I believe I convinced you that it was not a bylaws, but was
You
a,
did. You did. We
yeah,
agreed that that would be
PPR.
a PPNR. And so that was to review today.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the Wyatt one, the one that OPML one, we do have. So we're gonna, we talked about that a little bit in our last meeting. Boy, I tell you, not meeting every 2 weeks is making things a little muddy. Anyway, the leaves of absence one we have ready to talk about. I don't think it was put into R5, but I'm not sure. We'll find out. If not, we'll pull it out. So I think at this point, these are done. I'm just gonna highlight them.
Mhm.
Okay, I've got a note here in R5 that you and Michael are going to bring up the topic of quorum number to the membership. Do you want that note to stay there, or do you want to write that down someplace else? How do you want to do that?
So I think what we had decided on that was we were going to wait a few more months just to bring up the quorum issue until after we had had some presentations in the membership meetings.
Mhm.
And I think that's what Michael had in his minutes was
Yeah,
we
the
would give
issue,
that a little more time.
the issue about that was that right now things are very quiet. Yeah, and probably the membership is sort of tired of listening to all of the organizational issues and blah blah blah. And when we get into that paradigm where we have speakers and other interesting things, then the numbers attending will probably grow, and we don't have to mess around with quorum too much.
I'm actually being more prosaic. Do I leave the comment in or do I ditch the comment?
Take it out.
Thank you.
Because
Okay.
I'm hoping that we can have that. Where's quorum? Oh, right here. I'm going to just add that in here.
Want me to share? I got it on the screen.
No, I'm just going to add it in this list. Consider quorum change next year. How's that?
Yeah.
And by next year, I mean like
26.
not. Well,
Or
I was
27.
actually meaning like the next, yeah, maybe at the end of the fiscal year. Okay, membership quorum. Okay. All right. So so why don't we just keep it in our action item list, but we don't need it in the PP&R thing. Because I'm hoping we can get those all passed for this year before we have a chance to see if our meetings numbers are going to come up. Okay, any other questions before, so basically, I think we'll see how much we can revisit this at the end on any of these that we can say are completed. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing this. And then Tom, I think you're on to put up the policies, procedures, and references document. And
Yep.
Louis, I don't know if you're familiar with any of what we've done, but we have bylaws that we redid completely 2 years ago. Last year, we came up with a brand new document called Policies, Procedures, and References. And this year, we're going through now and doing some additional things that we just didn't have time to get to this year, beforehand last year. So you're going to hear a lot of just very detailed kinds of things as we go through today.
Okay, I don't have the agenda in front of me yet. So what's the first topic?
Well, the
Okay.
agenda just has policies, procedures, and references.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, we're just going to go through that action item list. So one of the things that we were going to do was go through the OPML stuff that we didn't have time to do last year,
Oh,
our
okay.
last meeting. And then we're going to go through the
Okay.
last thing on that. I should have printed off the action item list, the leaves of absence kind of thing. And then we were going to go through the, Michael has a voting procedure that he wanted to throw up there. And if you have something in writing for that, Michael, we could either have you share that on the screen or you could send it to Tom and he can share it.
Whichever is easiest.
Why don't you send it to Tom?
Okay. All right. All right. I have it in notes here. Let me save it and send it. Voting docs. Wasn't prepared to do that, but that's okay. Oh, rats. I'm not real good at doing this. It's not very long.
That's okay, Michael.
Okay,
We can always cover it in December too.
Yeah. Well,
then-
let me just go over it with you. Okay,
Mhm.
it's pretty simple.
Okay, well, let's first do the OPML and the leaves of absence and then see where we
Okay.
are time-wise. Does
All
that
right,
sound
okay.
okay? Okay.
Okay, it's on the screen. Hopefully you can see it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll stop moving it around and make it a little bit easier.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
saving it as an R6?
Saving it as R6. Yes, of course, I've already done that.
Thank you.
No, I didn't. But I will now. Thank you. Okay,
Thank you. Okay, so I believe I should have gone back and reviewed the video. I'm trying to remember. We talked about this some last month,
Mhm.
we just
and it looks
began.
like part of it is highlighting, right? Did we just begin it and then we,
Yeah,
because
I
we,
think we got down to about here and decided we needed to talk about this.
okay. Okay, so we're okay with the first part. Oregon Public Meeting Law requires that all meetings of government agencies be available for public participation and reference. As an agent of Tillamook County, the NCAC is required to adhere to OPML. And then exemptions, some exemptions exist within OPML and its official interpretations. For example, OPML does not apply to communications of subcommittee members that are purely factual or educational in nature, where no deliberations toward a decision are involved, or that are non-substantive, i.e. scheduling meetings and activities.
Ooh,
It's not, oh, okay, sub and committee members, okay. Such
don't speak
as. Okay,
I don't speak Latin.
I have a
okay.
question about that exemption one. What about the task force?
The task forces do not have to follow OPML at all.
So would
And
that be an
that's,
exemption and should we flesh that out?
That's in the,
it's in the
it's in the
bylaws.
bylaws.
Okay.
Um, so maybe that's a good point, Susan. Up on that first paragraph, requires that all meetings of decision-making bodies, well, we don't make decisions either. It's the difference with task forces is that they're handling tasks, but
Mhm.
nothing
policy wise.
policy wise. So
They're not,
so policy making, maybe we put in something like policy making. Maybe
no, no.
it's not, wouldn't hurt that much to say task forces are outside of the scope. They're in the bylaws, but
Mhm.
So
what do
I'm
you
against
guys think?
redundancy. We do say that in the bylaws and the bylaws rule. And since we say committees here and not task forces, I think it's
Hmm.
inclusive,
Okay.
not
Yeah.
exclusive. Less is more.
Although Susan just asked about it, and
That's true.
she's been on
That's
our committee, so
All
the
right.
fact that she's asking, I don't think it hurts to be really
Okay.
clear. I agree with you on redundancy, but
Mhm.
if people are just
Okay.
taking this out and they're not looking at the rest of it.
Shame on them.
And we do say up
Hands-on
there,
reading.
all meetings by governmental agencies. So I think we should say all policy meetings.
Except we're not a policy. That's the problem. It's going to be difficult to say exactly what we are.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we take all out?
Well,
Requires that meetings by government
how
agencies.
about a weasel word like substantive?
Um, okay, right. Well,
Yeah,
we got the
kinda
exemptions
nice.
as non-substitute,
Oh,
and
yeah.
by definition, task forces are non-substitute. So to schedule the meetings, activities, and task forces.
Mhm.
So scheduling meetings, activities, and task. Let's see. And
Okay, okay, that,
Yeah, you're right. I think scheduling meetings and because that's under scheduling.
there's meeting activities, comma. Um,
And then just say task forces are exempt. Let's just keep it pure and simple. Task force meetings are exempt.
how about that?
General information meetings, I think, is really vague. I think that could be problematic. I don't know what you mean by that.
So, how about just information meetings? But we have that in the bylaws.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't we
that's
define
fine.
it somewhere? Yeah.
Sure, that's fine. That's good.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'm happy. Well, I'm not completely unhappy about that.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, in the conduct meeting, the chairperson shall remind all persons attending a meeting of the requirements for decorum, respect, and order as needed. The chairperson may require any person violating these requirements to leave the meeting or direct the host of any virtual meeting to cut off the audio of that meeting, of that person. So that's hopefully not going to be needed, but it has been possibly in the past. So it's good to have it in there. And I think we got through all that just fine, right? So outside communications, at any meeting of the NCAC or its subcommittees, the chairperson shall require that all voting members of non-essential electronic devices be turned off or to silent mode. And that's what we were going to be talking about today. If any voting member of the committee or subcommittee sends or receives electronic communications related to a matter before the subcommittee or committee, the members shall disclose the nature of those communications to all in attendance at the meeting prior to public comment and a vote.
I have heartburn, that whole thing. I'm just not there. It's infeasible. I hate having rules that cannot be enforced. Zoom supports back channel communication and doesn't record it. By
It actually
virtue of,
does
does it?
record it. Yeah, it
Okay,
does. We don't usually publish it, but it's recorded.
okay, but the first two things are correct. I mean, it's basically, and if you're sitting in a meeting and you're whispering to somebody's ear next to you versus texting somebody across the room, what's the difference?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Tom on that. It sounds pretty heavy duty. Yeah, and particularly, how can you enforce it? If somebody's doing it, what do we do? Stop the meeting? And or I don't know. It's a strange one to me.
I think it's, well, I'm the guilty party that drafted this
Oh,
initially.
yeah, okay.
Um, and it arises out of what was going on with our school board here,
Uh-huh.
which was an actual event where during the course of public discussion over matters before the school board, one of the participants who had already had their 3 minutes then engaged in a back and forth by text message with one of the board members that we were not privy to. And ultimately, for some reason, she posted it on our Facebook page, and I found out about it and wrote the school board a letter, which was somewhat probably kinder than I felt about the issue, and pointed out to them that this was a violation of the public meetings law because it did not allow the other participants in the meeting to hear what was being said and or counter that particular comment. Now, whether in fact it's enforceable or not, I don't care. I think it's a matter of guidance as much as it is enforceability.
I can see the purpose in that because then there are things that are hidden from the public. That's not good.
Okay, so let's take them one at a time. The non-essential electronic devices, probably doesn't make sense for us since we're largely electronic. And you're not gonna have any, people might not even think about doing that. So I think that could go away and not hurt anything. If we said should instead of shall, I'd be okay with it.
Sure.
Anybody else?
I like that.
I think having it in, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Alex.
Oh, I think having it in there is important, even if it's not enforceable.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of same, I mean, we've got great officers right now, but what if you got some people who were, texting each other and it's like, oh, okay, we got to do this. We got this person who just dialed onto the Zoom call. There can be things happening behind closed doors, but it in a sense that we really don't want to have happen. And this would just kind of put it on notice that officers can't be texting between each other and not revealing what they're texting to each other about people. Like I say, the officers now are fabulous. I'm just think we need to make sure that things are in the guardrails if we get something that isn't great like it is now.
I would like to, I understand and agree with that idea. But I'd like to make it such that we don't have less communications by being electronic rather than more. In other words, we're already hamstrung by a thin conduit between us. If we, okay, and what I would claim would be an innocent thing is somebody left the meeting screen, went off to the restroom, came back, and you send them a quick text. They covered that. You might want to you might want to find out about that. Is that in violation? Well, I think it would be according to this, but I would think that would be a good thing to have been done.
Of course, that person could just say it to them too, but in the meeting. So maybe we could say the chairperson should remind all voting members take out require. Because it is part of the rules already. So remind to me is just a little softer than require.
Alex, does that answer kind of what your concern was?
Yeah, I think. Were you talking to me?
Yeah, Nancy's idea was to essentially that the chair should remind people about that particular limitation.
Yeah, I was thinking of it in the sense of, say, for the school board example, if something were to happen and it caused harm, having this text in policies and procedures, if we had to go back and take action, or at some point in the future, go back and take action, having this printed out gives more credibility or teeth into being able to go back and change something, or enforcement.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a CYA.
Kind of a worst case scenario.
Like protect liability with the county so that the insurance policy would protect the officers to have this in there.
Yeah, they're already protected, unless of course they violate this.
Yeah.
In case that makes them more rather than less. Yeah, I can see that. Well, let me bring up a slightly different thing on this first sentence. I have a what would be non-essential electronic device that I am monitoring because my doctor might call. That's illegal?
No, it would be
So
essential.
I'll have to bow out.
Well, it does say matters related to the matters before the subcommittee, and your health doesn't.
Well, a little bit.
Okay, a little bit. with the cube of sugar there, okay?
Okay, fair enough. It's just that first sentence is really stark.
Yeah, shall require is pretty, that is stark. You know, I'm kind of with, Alex there a little bit that, well, yeah, it's,
How
It
about
should
that?
remind, should
yeah,
remind.
that's good. That's much better.
Yeah,
I think should is good as well.
And over here, should as well.
Yes.
What's this one? We haven't moved to that yet.
Well, I did.
If any voting member of the committee or subcommittee sends or receives electronic communications, member.
Okay.
Oh,
Are we done
okay,
with that? Before we go too
sure.
far, are we done with this one? Are
Yes.
we good with this?
Yes. The
Mhm.
red. Yes.
Okay.
You
Highlighted.
know, I kind of go back and forth. I think it's really important to have in there. At the same time, I'm thinking practically when I start a meeting or when Alex is starting a membership meeting or a board meeting, are we going to say this? So if so, we should almost have it included on the agenda as something, you know,
Yeah.
that as a standing statement on the agenda
Mhm.
rather than
Yeah.
reading it necessarily. But
We already have a standing statement for any time we take a vote. So we could add it to the standing statement for votes,
Well,
It's a
because it doesn't
reminder.
matter otherwise. If it's
the
just
issue is not
discussion.
necessarily just the vote time, it's the discussion that leads up to it.
Hmm,
One could possibly put it after the conflict of interest statements before the meeting even started.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
okay,
yeah, actually. So rather than just, do you have any conflict of interest? At that point, that, yeah. But I'm thinking just so we don't forget it, it could be
mhm,
put on the
mhm.
agenda. Can you just make a note of that, Tom? Consider adding to agendas as standard wording.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it does only affect the voting members of whatever committee or subcommittee. But I think what you were talking about in your example is someone who is not a voting member was sending information to a voting member on the school board. Is that right?
Yeah, actually, they were commenting upon the oral comments that were being made in public, privately to the school board member and rebutting them.
Wow. That's pretty outrageous.
okay, so
So
maybe
rather
we're not.
than waiting for public comment, or you said their public comment period was, they'd already gone over. Yeah.
Hmm,
Mm.
Well, the first sentence, at any meeting, the NCAC, et cetera, I think that's fine. The rest of it sounds a little of bordering on punitive. Let me give you a comparison. You know, at the beginning of each concert, we require that everybody turn their cell phones off for obvious reasons. You don't want a thing going off during the middle of the concert. However, every once in a while, somebody will have their cell phone up taking a video. And we are by contract required not to be taking any videos of anybody doing that. And they could take them and put them on YouTube or whatever and violate contractual arrangements. So yeah, turn it off. Period. But to require that if they don't do it, that there ought to be some follow-up behavior expectation or requirement.
Yeah, I think as you're talking, Michael, it's occurring to me that it's still the voting members, because the way
Yeah.
Wyatt has it here is that if somebody else who's not a voting member is sending comments, like in that example he was concerned about,
Yeah.
the recipient could have their phone off and not be reading. So it
Right.
really is up to the voting member. It really doesn't
Yes.
affect
That's right.
non-voting members.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly.
And if a non-voting member is sending something to a voting member, that really is public comment. It shouldn't be kept secretive to somebody who's
Right.
going to be making a decision and voting on the matter.
Right.
Well,
Was the
if-
voting member responding, Wyatt?
I'm not sure what the voting member did because my only access to the communication without a Title III warrant would be to was the Facebook post, which was obviously fairly incomplete and just a kind of a comment that was an aside.
Okay.
the thing is that if the voting member's device is turned off, then that fulfills this requirement.
Mhm.
If anybody sends that voting member a message, they can't read it, can't see it. And there's no difference between that act and catching them after the meeting and giving them an earful.
Well, sure,
Right.
but except at that point, Michael, the vote may have been taken based upon.
Sure, of course. But if they
So
don't have any-
afterwards, who cares?
yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Mhm.
So, again, the first sentence, I think, fulfills the need there.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, coming back to shall in that sentence here, that is a CYA thing. And
Yeah.
so, well, I mean, yes, does give you a defensible position as a organization. It doesn't actually do anything, and there is no punitive action allowed. Yeah, I'm not horribly against it, but like I say, I just have a prejudice against rules for rules' sake. But I take it. I'll stop talking now. No, sorry, rambling.
No, I think this is good to talk it through. So
Yeah.
I think it would be good to direct anyone texting to put it in the chat where everybody can see it.
It's interesting as we're sitting here talking about this, and I suddenly realize my cell phone is on. And if somebody is feeding me messages and information about this particular meeting,
Mhm.
you don't know it.
Mm-hmm. Right. This is one of those rules that, you just have to hope that people are being honest.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Was that an epiphany, Michael?
What's that?
Was that an epiphany?
Yes, it was. It was sort of a poof in my mind.
So I have my phone on and on silent mode. But it talks about other non-essential electronic devices. So I'm on my Mac, and when I get a text, it flashes across my screen.
Wow.
So I'm going to see it on my essential device. It doesn't, I think it's basically goes back to ethics and to
really.
you know to some of the stuff that you had come up with before, Wyatt, on conflict of interest and that kind of thing. I think
Yeah.
it kind of fits.
It's
in
really
there a
a
little
public
bit.
confidence issue. The other thing that is kind of ugly about it is that in the event that there is some kind of a violation of OPML, the process can be immediately filed, or the infraction, with the Oregon Ethics Commission, which then leads to an investigation by them and probably a request for production of emails and text messages from committee members. And then the other aspect of it is that it can be referred to the district attorney as well.
Ooh, yeah.
So I don't think it's inappropriate to remind people that it has consequences, and therefore that's why we do it.
Well,
So in this last sentence, I could see, like, we're in a meeting, let's say a board meeting, and we talk about having a speaker, and Alex in this example would fire off a email to a potential speaker, asking if they could make such and such a date because that would really be helpful. It's disclosed, and so this allows for that. It just says let's disclose it, and it would be obvious. So I think Yeah, I think I think this wording is pretty good on this second sentence. I think shall is appropriate for this one.
I'll go with that.
I was just thinking about something about electronic devices. We all assume it's cell phones, but electronic devices can be refrigerators, washing machines, etc. Yes.
Well,
can we just
they
say
should
that?
turn off their washing machines.
Put
Come on.
put it on silent for sure.
Yeah.
My
We can
washing
ask it.
machine just told me.
You can ask everyone if the refrigerators are running.
Right.
So there's no catching. Okay.
I think so. Any objections at this point, or do we feel okay with this? And Alex and Lewis, if please speak up if you have any comments.
I have no objection. I mean, I think, I support having it in there. Just, it's unenforceable. Like, I'm on my phone right now. I think a lot of people I'm doing this meeting through my phone. I think a lot of people are on their phones for the meeting. Especially if it's, they're on audio. So in that sense, it's completely unenforceable at the time. I support having it in there for, retroactive action if anything is needed. But I'm also a little hesitant to have every meeting start with a somewhat lengthy
Yeah.
thou shalt not, because it just adds an element to the meeting that a lot of times doesn't have to be there. But I'm also supportive of the wording. So
Okay, well, why don't we leave it in there then, and we'll see how we do it in the next couple meetings. And
Okay, I'm going to delete the comment on shall, because I think
Okay.
we've all come to the conclusion shall is okay. Is that correct? Anybody
for
object?
that second, yes,
The second shall.
second shall. Mhm.
And that's the entirety of the OPML.
Okay,
Are we hearing a motion to accept it?
I'll move it. Sure.
Okay, second.
is there a second? Okay,
Yep.
any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor of accepting the procedure 18 as presented, please say, as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Good discussion.
You should have seen it before Nancy cut it down.
Well,
We were a good team, Wyatt.
Yeah, it raises issues that we certainly I have never really considered.
Well, I hadn't either until I saw it. So
This is important to me personally right now, because at the last city council meeting in Corvallis, excuse me, not council, but the county commissioners of Benton County are dealing with the landfill, garbage expansion and so on. And it's a very, very controversial issue that people are angry about. And in the middle of their discussion in the meeting, the three of them decided to go into the back room and talk about it. Whoa, yeah, Susan. And nobody said anything. And I wasn't there, but I heard about it and I said, whoa, wait a minute, you can't do that. Oregon public meeting law absolutely requires that any deliberations or discussion on that, unless they are, executive session, have to be out in the public so people can respond to it. And all of a sudden, I kicked a hornet's nest in Corvallis.
Good for you.
good for you.
Yeah.
Want some help?
I don't know where it is right now, but that's current. That's current. That just happened a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
Wow.
that decision can be voided, Michael.
Yeah.
On that basis.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, they voted to expand the garbage place, and people are just livid about it because it's stinking, it's dropping junk into the groundwater. It's yeah. Anyway, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so I think we're ready for the next one. Was vacancies that I had initially proposed as Article 4, Section E in the bylaws. And Tom, I think convinced me that really, it could just be added to the policies and procedures. So Tom did, I don't know if that actually got added to the policies and procedures. Do you remember?
Don't know. Give me a phrase to search for.
Okay, so an officer may take a temporary leave of absence.
Well, I'm fairly certain I screwed that up.
Okay,
I'll look.
so why don't you stop and I will share.
Let me just speak.
Mhm.
What is going on here? Should be able to.
Can
Oh, well, okay, I'll stop.
save it.
Yes, I'll save it.
Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna
No,
share. if
no,
you can-
that's good. That's good. I am definitely foggy.
Incidentally,
All right.
Tom, I sent you the wording on that in your email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that an essential electronic device? Oh, I'm
Yes.
disclosing.
He's disclosing.
I will
I'm
have it on the
disclosing.
screen.
I'm disclosing.
All right. So originally I was thinking, because of what happened with Mark, where he was considering taking a leave of absence instead of actually resigning as chair, we realized we didn't have anything to cover that. And so I thought it could be a bylaws change, but I think Tom convinced me that we could just make it a policy change. And so the current bylaws talk about vacancies and how they're filled. What I'm proposing is an officer may take a temporary leave of absence for up to 6 months for any reason with the approval of the executive board. Duties shall be handled as a vacancy as described below. Subcommittee chairs may also take a temporary leave of absence for up to 6 months, and duties shall be handled by the subcommittee members as they see fit. So, so maybe what we do, duties should be handled as a vacancy as described in bylaws section article, or bylaws article 4 section E. If we take this out and put it in policies and procedures. So first of all, what do you guys think? Policies, procedures, and references, or bylaws change? Can you read it okay? I can make it bigger.
That's fine.
I think it's a bylaws.
Yeah, that rises to a level of bylaws to me.
Okay, okay.
And the reason is because there's no in the bylaws there's no accounting for that, and the PP and Rs ought to be describing a procedure or a process rather than a rule.
So I realize I haven't added that to this meeting folder, so let me do that so you guys will all have it. Does anyone want to change any of the wording? I mean, it's a pretty simple thing. It's just we didn't have any provision. We realized when this came up, and there could be all sorts of reasons why someone would need to take a leave of absence. It could be medical, it could be family issues, it could be whatever. So, yeah. Let me get to our meeting folder here. Oops. All right, so it's now in the meeting folder. It's nowhere else other than last month's meeting folder. And it's just a Word document. Okay, so are we ready to take a vote on this one?
Yep.
Okay.
Moved.
Okay.
Seconded.
All right. All those in favor of adding a leave of absence section to bylaws article 4 section E vacancies, please say aye.
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 I,
Aye.
Any opposed? Please say no. Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna need to take a brief med break. As
Mhm.
soon as I get my happy pill, I'll be back.
You got any more
Okay.
of those? I could use a couple happy pills, I think.
I have the heavy duty ones. You could have them if it was legal for me to give them to you, but
It's not.
it is not.
So, Michael, can you email me that
Yes.
wording that you have, and I'll throw it up into the meeting folder while Tom
Yes,
is
yes,
gone.
yes,
And then
yes.
why don't we resume in 5 minutes?
5 minutes, okay.
So we're gonna temporarily adjourn the meeting for 5 minutes at 10 a.m.
I'm going to my non-essential electronic device.
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure my refrigerator's still plugged in.
That sounds good, Susan.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave. I'm coming up on my destination here. I've been in the car.
Oh, my.
Okay, well, thank you
So
for
I
joining
will
us,
bow out
Alex.
halfway. But
Thanks,
thank you.
Alex. Safe
Thank you all
travels.
for having me. Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right,
Take care.
bye.
There you go, Nancy.
Okay, thanks, Michael. And then I think that's really all we have left.
Oh, good, yeah. Mm, mm, mm.
And next time we will have a longer meeting because
Okay. I just
Okay.
stepped in my.
What is that,
shower.
Susan, what is that scene behind you?
Oh, it is the Salmon River estuary, looking south from Sitka Center. When you do
know,
that hike out on Cascade Head.
It's
on the south
really
side.
pretty cool because when you came back and walking back to your chair,
Uh-huh.
it was like you were walking up the hill.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But it's quite close by.
The
It's just so
hills are
beautiful.
alive with the sound of, and there she came.
I think you would need earplugs if I was singing. I'm not musically talented like you are.
Okay, so let me throw it into a Word document. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it in here, Michael, but let's see, voting. I'm going to want to have to think about it too. This is an important one.
Oh, yeah, I'm just throwing it up there for ideas. And I've already got an addition in mind.
Okay.
Well, that just occurred to me, and that is that if and when we come across a simple and reasonable voting application, then we could refer to that as well.
Okay.
I remember some months ago talking about the one that we use for the faculty senate, and as I looked at it, it was not only costly but very complex, and it just did not need it. So, and others are out there, but they're by membership, rents, and so on, and we don't need that kind of thing. Hi, sweetie. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm very good. Thank you.
Okay, so I just threw it into the meeting folder and I'll go ahead and share it. Even though it'll at least give you guys a chance to read it before we resume. Yeah, we'll work on this, Michael, between now and December. It includes some good stuff. I think Well, anyway, I'm not supposed to be talking because we're adjourned. Are you back, Tom? I don't think he is. We'll just wait. Wait till he's back. So, guys have plans for the holidays? Thanksgiving is coming right up.
Leave.
Are you going to be flying? Or are you going to be here, Susan?
I'm inbound early on Thanksgiving, and I'm so grateful that this government shutdown
Yeah.
line scenario
Oh, I
is
bet.
behind you, behind all of us. Yeah, it's been challenging.
I bet. I mean, internationally, it might not be quite as bad as just getting from Portland to LA.
Well, last week we took off from Auckland, and before we landed in LA, many of my passengers' flights had been canceled. So I was,
Oh,
you know, being on a flight for that long and they're trying to get to the East Coast, I really felt badly for them.
yeah, yeah. Are you back, Tom?
I think so.
Okay, I think this is the last thing on the agenda, and I'm going to reconvene the meeting at 10:06 a.m. And so this is just on there as a drafty draft. Thank you, Michael, for working on it this morning. Michael and I are going to take it and massage it between now and December because it was kind of on ours to do. But if you guys have any comments, you could make them now, or but I think we'll discuss it more in detail in the December meeting.
I've added it to the draft. It's
Okay, thank you.
Procedure 20.
Okay, thank you.
I
So-
removed the numbers. It's not really a number list. So it needs a little editorial smoothing, but substantial comments would be useful.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I think I had some ideas on voting as well when we were setting this up,
please,
just
yeah,
on things
yeah,
that
of
have
course.
come. So
I just thought
but
I
no,
would.
I appreciate it's always easier to take something and work with it
Yeah,
than just
yeah.
create it. So thank you,
Yeah.
Michael. I really appreciate
Well,
that.
the salient points are that a tally be taken, so we know who's
Mhm.
there and how many people are there, and so on. And it does account for on-screen and off-screen voters.
Right.
And secondly, somebody shall be assigned to count the votes so that they can focus their attention on both venues, on screen and off screen. And third, in keeping with Robert's rules, if it's a simple thing, raise your hands or say aye and so on. But if there is any question about it, then you go back to counting the votes. And that's called a division of the House, and anybody can call for it, and that's a privileged motion. And so, you don't have to deal with it except make it happen. And then the votes are announced. Now, a thing to be added, I think, perhaps, is an electronic application coming down the road that we may be able to use in the future, and how we put that into activity and so on.
Mhm.
Can
Yeah,
I
I think that was. Oh, go ahead, Wyatt.
Yeah, in looking at number 3 paragraph, is the second sentence intended to modify the first one, or should it stand alone?
Well, I don't know if it needs to be standing alone. It's just if anybody feels it's a controversy, then it, for example, if it's 49-51 or 16-17 or whatever, and that's unclear to me. That's unclear. If I were chairing the meeting, I would say, hey, let's go back and count.
Well, no, I guess my question is whether in fact that second sentence is intended to expand the thought about what may happen if it was a non-controversial vote where the showing of hands is not clear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and if it's not clear, and people go like that, and you see, you can't even hardly see my hand, and and so on and so.
Okay, so
ask for another vote. Yeah.
the two thoughts go together then.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Oh, sorry.
go ahead, Susan.
I was just going to ask, is division of the House the same as a roll call vote?
A roll call vote may be a form of the division of the House. But the roll call vote is an activity. A division of House is a requirement. It's the same thing, essentially.
Because we do have quite a bit of
Yeah.
information about roll call voting
Yeah.
elsewhere. So that's where we're gonna, I think what we were looking at was not a new procedure, but going through the existing work that we have on voting and trying to clarify for the situations where we have problems like the Zoom poll doesn't work, or the, situations like you have in here about if there's more than one person at a computer. For example, how do we log those votes? Because we typically, on our Zoom votes, if it's a membership meeting particularly, it's there might be enough people, and there have been in the past where it's impossible to count hands. If it goes to more than one screen, it's almost impossible to count hands. If it's controversial, which we have had in the past, if it's like unanimous, it's not a problem. But if there are one or two people who vote against something or the other direction, it's not a problem. But and so it was to try to clarify some of that also. So let you and me work on that in the next
Yeah.
couple of weeks, Michael.
Okay.
But thank you for putting this
Yeah.
together. Any other comments on it, or we'll bring it back in a
Okay.
timely manner?
Okay, but we can combine it with other text, but right now what that text is
Yes.
in procedure 20.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you. Okay, and then so I guess in terms of how we handle this one bylaws change, it doesn't go in the policies and procedures document. It just is going to be in a separate. And at this point, it's the only bylaws change we're proposing. We just have to keep in mind that we have one.
Okay, what we need is in the bylaws directory, pending actions.
Okay, sounds
And
good. Is that something you will do, Tom?
I certainly can.
Okay, thank you. I wasn't sure is that something that falls into the chain? So I guess, yeah, because I have the one document on policies and procedures, action items, but really there should be also, it's a bylaws subcommittee action items, and that would cover bylaws and policies and procedures. So why don't I take that and add it to the action item list? Does that sound okay?
Okay, that's fine.
And then if you want to add it to something else, an indexing thing that you were talking about, that works too.
So have mention of it there, and then we'll find a place to stick these things so we can find them.
Yeah.
I would really like to have a database, but oh well.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's something we need to work on, right? Okay. So other than that, I think we don't have anything else.
So we had
Go back to the action item list. Oh, we have a public comment?
I don't know.
Oh, yes. I just meant in terms of this section of the agenda,
Oh,
of
okay.
the
I'm sorry
policies,
about that.
procedures, and
Sorry.
references.
Yeah.
No, you're
So
right.
what about procedure 19?
What's that? You can share again.
I can? Thank you.
Thank you.
There we go. It was added and we did not review it.
Oh, okay. This is the one that Wyatt and Susan did that I hadn't seen before. Okay, so it's been there, sitting there.
It's been there.
Okay. Can you take the red lines off? We can read it.
I can. Oh, did you want me to do that?
Will you please? Here, my husband that does that to me. Are you asking me to actually do it? Yes. Thank you.
Semantics.
Yeah. Okay.
Let
So
me,
person.
I will bring it up there.
Thank you.
Readable.
Okay, so persons seeking a position on a subcommittee are required to be voting members of the NCAC and submit a communication of interest to the secretary that includes their qualifications for membership, a statement of the reason for their interest in the position, and any special or relevant qualifications. The Communication shall also indicate the commitment to the time and any completion of any training required for the position. Upon their election to the subcommittee, the successful candidate shall complete all training required of the position in a timely manner as determined by the executive
Board.
board,
Yeah.
please.
Wow.
I think that's a Vietnamese sandwich, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's good too. I love
Yeah.
bao.
I'm still on drugs.
Well, we appreciate your being here, Tom. I'm actually thrilled.
Me too. I'm really glad to be
You
here.
are. I bet you are. And in such good shape. Any person seeking appointment to a task force shall submit a letter of interest to the secretary for consideration by the executive board, which is the
Yeah.
appointing authority.
We got too many any's in there. And I'm not talking about belly buttons, but in the first paragraph about the fourth line down, do we have any completion of any training? And I think the first any should be deleted.
Yes,
Mhm.
Yeah.
there you go.
So we don't have a secretary. I think what we usually do is say they should submit to info at whatever that email address is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that way, whoever is supposed to be monitoring that email knows. But yeah, this is sounding good. Let's see.
We could add email address in parentheses there.
Okay, sure. You know, we are going to be setting up emails for each of the positions too, but I think it should include the secretary's email and the info at. How's that?
I don't know. I know
Is
the info at, but I don't know what the secretary would
right.
be.
So actually, what I'd like is the same that we have for bylaws. So bylaws is bylaws at blah, 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 blah. We have secretary at NCAC, whatever it is. I mean, I think we should just set all those up. It's just we have to create them. They're Gmail accounts. And so Gary and I talked about that quite a while back when he was secretary, and we just didn't get it done. But I don't think there was a big issue with it. It has to be managed by the NCAC rather than the individual, so that as people change, the email password and everything gets switched over to the new person.
I was just thinking, I wonder if we should make it the chair instead of the secretary, given that there will always be a chair, but there may not always be a secretary.
Good point.
Yeah, that is, because the chair can always assign that, to somebody else.
Mhm. And the secretary usually will monitor the info at.
Mhm.
So chair,
Yeah, the chair.
Chair. And then say, I think, and we should have both. I think they should send it to the two email addresses. One would be the chairs that's going to be future, and then the other is the info at
Mhm.
NCAC. I'll go get it.
no, I'm looking for words here other than chair.
Chairperson.
Well, I mean, and who else?
Oh, to the chairperson, not there. Go ahead and put their email, and then info at on the other side. So and the general NCAC email info at, and then we'll have to fill it out.
NCAC.
.org.
Nesco CAC? I can't remember. What is the address?
I've forgotten what it is.
.org, isn't it?
No, let's see. It's
I think it's nescoandcac.org, but
That sounds
should be right on the website, right? Let's see. Info at nescoandcac.org.
Susan, I wonder, And it certainly may make no difference, but the title to that procedure is really kind of, seems to me as a misnomer, and I don't know if I wrote that or where that came from, but it seems to me that it should be applicants for positions to subcommittees or task forces or something like that,
I like that
rather than
idea.
adding members, because
Yeah,
adding members
Mhm.
makes it sound like we're filling a vacancy.
yeah, I
Right,
like
I
that.
agree. In fact, I was just going to mention that because timing, I think, should be in here too. We don't typically add people mid-year. And do we want to? You know, if we had
I-
somebody that came in that wanted to join our bylaws subcommittee in
Sure.
January, like Lewis, if you wanted to join us, is there a way to do that? We don't currently have a way, I don't believe, to do
Well, and
that.
there's also a limit on how many can serve.
Right,
But
right.
we aren't
We,
on the
we,
limit on either one of the committees. So
I think our limit is up to 7 at this point.
it is, it's
Yeah.
7. Mhm.
I think of people applying more on task forces throughout the year, but I agree with you, not on subcommittees.
Mhm. So
and I'm not,
maybe we just leave it. Oh, go ahead, Tom.
I'm not sure about task forces. I think we decided that task forces are loosey-goosey and they don't have to be voted on because you're may have somebody who works on something for a week, comes and goes.
Mhm.
So task forces doesn't seem to make sense.
They just said that we have in the bylaws that they're appointed by the board, executive
And I
board.
know the outreach task force people that the ones that are on have had to been approved by the board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Well,
that can happen anytime.
Mhm.
So there is no time difference. Maybe we just don't even address when people can be added.
I think that, because if we had 3 or 4 people drop out of this subcommittee, we would want to have that done right now.
That's right. It would be a
Yeah.
vacancy, although not really, because as long as you'd
We
have to have a
already have
quorum.
vacancies.
Yeah. So
So
I agree with you, Wyatt. Back on the title, we could just say applications for a subcommittee or task force. So when we had people wanting to be on the outreach task force, for example, they had to let Mark know. It was pretty low key, but after Susan found them. That's nice.
Yeah.
Now that was a good catch on the title.
I don't
I
know.
think
Neglected.
I'm looking at the second paragraph now, submit a letter of interest to secretary. Do we want to say to the chairperson? Make it.
yeah, the
read that-
chairperson. Mhm.
Mm-hmm. I think the
And then
title's more important for the way the table of contents is prepared so that people know where to find it.
Mhm.
And having a good description gives them a little bit of assistance.
Yeah.
And then a comma after executive board.
Yes.
And I think we need the before chairperson in that second paragraph. Yeah.
Yeah. The NCAC chairperson, not the chairperson of the task force.
Yeah, good qualification.
And the same up above, first paragraph. Excellent. Nice job, you guys.
Looks good to me.
Okay, we ready for a motion?
Well moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all in favor of accepting procedure 19 applications for subcommittee or task force positions as amended, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
I call for division of the House.
Oh, no, you troublemaker.
Well, you know
That
what?
sounds more like a divorce proceeding.
Yeah.
It
You had
does.
a roll
A
call
house,
vote, Michael.
a house divided cannot stand.
That's right.
Okay, bylaws humor. Well,
Quotes from
parliamentary
Abraham
procedure
Lincoln.
humor. Yeah,
I could call for a strap hole.
yeah.
Strap hole.
Now, is
Okay.
it green? Does that become green or black?
Green, I'm working on it.
So, so we are having lots of have fun here. Bylaws humor. Okay, so thank you, Tom. Do we have anything else, Tom, to talk about on these policies and
Don't,
procedures for today?
don't believe so.
All right, well, thank you. I'm going to go back and share then, if you could stop sharing this, and I will get you.
I'm going to save first.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, I'm going to share, go back to the list for today, if I can find it. I think I've opened things since then.
Mhm.
Action, here it is. Okay. All right, so as of today, we will move this to December 12th. We did start. Thank you, Michael.
Mhm.
I don't see that we're going to have this written by December, but we can leave it on here and try. We will definitely have job descriptions done by December. So we did do qualifications for subcommittee and task force members. We haven't talked about this, so that would be something else to try to work on for next time. So it talks about that they need to be able to do the training and have the skills necessary.
Yeah, you better have somebody
better
on the
have-
committee who can do Word. I mean,
Yeah, all of those. So I think
I'm,
we need to do that. How to do meeting OPML.
we did that.
I think we're done with that.
Yeah.
We already had OPML here, so this was related to qualifications. I don't know what we meant by that. I think I'll get rid of it.
Ditch it. I have an idea I'd like you to think about in terms of the skills.
Mm-hmm.
Is that we should have in requesting or advertising an opening, we should include the skills in the opening, and then therefore the person applying should satisfy those skills. That's a way to make it generic.
Okay, that's good. So we need to have something like that under job descriptions. So include skills required. And training, really.
You know, to look at this, I'm not sure the term required should be. I think it should be desired.
Mm.
We have a number of people who I'm not sure have the skill levels, and I certainly wouldn't want to discourage anybody from applying for something because everybody adds a different kind of talent to the decision-making processes and projects. And so I think it's appropriate to kind of point out what we would like to see, but we don't want to discourage people from applying.
That's a good point. A
Mm.
very good
I
point.
agree.
Okay.
Can make life difficult.
Yeah, I figured you're going to speak up here, Tom.
Um, in a completely different context, I I made a mention that something should be a hyperlink, and I was asked, what's a hyperlink? And I was gobsmacked, as they say in the UK.
Hmm.
So,
I don't think that's uncommon. I think I ran into that in another organization too, where I was editing a newsletter, and all these articles were coming after the newsletter was done. I'm not the editor, I was reviewing, and there were all these long strings, and I kept putting in hyperlinks and please put in hyperlinks. And people, what? So yeah, I think it's a, and now they all do it. It was a good training opportunity. So
it's not a killer. It just makes things look difficult.
yeah.
Being,
But yeah,
being aware of that is, I'd say that the job qualifications are I think you have it desired. And if we don't have that, we'll need to make sure that someone can cover.
okay. So really, I think this gets moved into here. Would you agree?
Yeah.
We'll just take that out and put it in there. And then possible places to get the skills also we can put in here. So this is done. I need to do something to make this better, but
Turn it green.
I'll flush this. Yeah,
Mm.
go to green. Highlight
Green.
it. Unfortunately, oh, you mean the words? Yeah, I could do that. Letters.
Turn it Susan color.
Yeah.
Your background, not yourself. But besides, you're the one that came up with green anyway.
Yeah.
She was. That was brilliant. Just brilliant. Okay. And then I can take off the highlighting. All right. Okay, so we have OPML procedures. I think we're done with this, right?
Think so.
Yep.
We made some progress. All
Mhm.
right.
Mhm.
And okay, so we have one paragraph as noted that we need to talk about. I'm going to say December 12th because I'm tired.
Mhm.
I'll have to go back and see what that one is. And leave of absence, we're done. This is bylaws. I'll reorganize this to show action items for this year, so it doesn't say. So these are policies and procedures. This is bylaws. Okay. Done. Sorry, shouldn't be doing this on the fly. Anyway. Okay, so actually we've made some real progress here.
Mhm.
So next time we're really just looking at voting, NCIC archives maybe, and fleshing out the job descriptions and procedures, that one paragraph on requests and straw polls. So Susan and I will work on job descriptions. I'll contact Tom and Gary and possibly Candace about doing the archives thing and then voting. But I think at this point, we're obviously not going to be ready for the December meeting to publish these or to go for a vote on them, but we should be able to in February and do plan in hopefully we can get these knocked out at our December meeting and then do a feedback session in January and have a vote of the membership in early February. How does that sound as a schedule?
Great.
Mhm,
And then be done.
Yeah.
mhm.
Okay. All right. So Tom, when is the drop dead date for getting you stuff?
Well, this afternoon would be fine.
And I'm putting in December because we do have Thanksgiving coming up.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do.
Family.
I'm pulling up the calendar.
When is our next meeting?
Our next meeting is December 12th.
Okay, give me 4 days ahead of that.
Okay, December 8th. All right. Thank you very much. So let's go to public comment. Whoops, wrong thing. Lewis, do you have anything you'd like to say? You're on. And thank you for hanging in here.
Or not.
And don't feel like you need to say anything, but if you would. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to save. Stop sharing. Go back.
Perhaps Lewis doesn't know he's muted.
Oh, okay. Lewis, if you're trying to speak, you can stop your mute button and you're welcome to say if you have any comments or questions. Or go put something in the chat. I think hearing none, we are adjourned at 10:36
Okay, you're
a.m.
going
Thank
to
you all.
you're going to post this video?
Yes, I am. I'm going to at least send it to you, Michael.
Okay,
And
yeah.
on my to-do list still is to figure out how to get these videos put up on the archive.
Is
So
it a process that
it's a process. It's a
oh,
long,
okay,
I
yeah,
actually have to get them. I have downloaded them all.
yeah.
I just need to get them put on YouTube and the correct library and then have pointers back to the archive along with the meeting folders, and all that's new to me. And frankly, I look at it and I just haven't had the time, but I have
Well,
downloaded them all, but I could send individual links out. So
okay,
that's
send
how
that to
what
me.
I've done
Yeah,
for you,
yeah.
Michael, and I can do that for you
And
today.
as far as posting them are concerned, when you figure that out, why don't you share that with me?
On how to do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Write
curious.
it down. Write it
What's that?
down.
Yeah, can we have
Yeah.
a procedure?
Yeah.
Or a
Right.
reference, put it in the reference.
But it's
Well,
out of curiosity.
I have a training video.
Oh.
But no, it's not something that we want to publish on how you get into our system and do all
No,
of that.
that's not my point. My point
But
is that
it does need to be in the job description
yeah, if
under
I
the
have
communications task force on how do we do this? Yeah.
For now, if I have the time, I might take that on. I don't know, but
Oh, really?
yeah,
Okay.
let's talk about that.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
because we can use all the additional communications task
Yeah.
force members that we can find, including
Yeah.
a secretary. And if we get more people that are more efficient than I am,
Yeah.
maybe we would get a secretary to.
That's not going to happen.
I was gonna say that.
What's not going to happen? Finding a
Someone
secretary?
more efficient than
Finding somebody
you.
that's more efficient than you are.
Oh, well, that's nice of you to say. But
Yeah.
Well, this is what I was talking about, distributing little tasks and,
yeah.
okay. All right.
Mhm.
Enough said.
No, that would be nice, Michael. I when I figure it out, I will be happy to
Okie
take
doke.
you through it.
All right.
I
Okay.
think what I'm going to have to do is just get Gary to be on with me and
Yeah.
take me through.
Good.
He gave us a little training video, and so I've gone back to it, and it's like, okay, it's a lot of steps. So anyway, I'm going to work on that this weekend.
But
We'll
that
see.
need to be written down. And it doesn't, it maybe not published, but it does need to be written down.
Yeah,
It does.
yeah.
It does.
So
if it
if you
takes-
can get that, I can create a standalone document
Well, that's
if
good.
you have all the.
You know, we could put in policies under the references or something or procedures. It just doesn't include the passwords, and it should
Yeah.
probably be
Yeah,
okay.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's a good point, Tom.
If it
New
takes more
procedure.
than- Yeah, if it takes more than 17 steps, I can't do it.
Okay, I'm going to add that to the procedure. How to
7.
do some of these communications task force tasks.
Makes rock
'cause-
Mononoff look pretty easy, huh, Michael?
Yeah, right.
Oh
Can I
my
call that
gosh.
archive procedures?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Procedures. Okay, so I'll assign that to me because I'm the one who is supposed to be learning this stuff and doing it. And I think we have some of that from Gary. So I've just added it to the list here.
This
As
is already a
R6.
procedure. This is
What's
already a
that?
procedure. Since it's already a procedure, I'm calling it an archive process.
Okay.
It's already a procedure.
It's
What?
in the
Oh, I see what you're saying. Maybe the other should
I
be a
don't want to have a
policy.
procedure.
Yeah, a process. Okay, / process. All right. So we had adjourned, but I think we continued. So I'm going to officially adjourn at
Oh,
10:41.
None of
Okay.
that happened. None of that happened.
No, it's fine. It's
Well,
still
we're
on video.
recording, so.
Yeah, we are. Haven't stopped recording. So, okay, we've just added a major thing. All right, people, well, have a fabulous Thanksgiving holiday.
Yes,
Um,
you too.
And Tom, feel better. It's great to see you. And thank you all for all your incredible work. It's just a delight working with you all. Take care and welcome, Lewis. I hope you continue joining us. All right, take care. I'm stopping recording.